Welcome back to blackstardove. Welcome back to my channel. As always, I do need that HBO special, which simply means help a brother out. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead and click that subscribe button and the like button. I most definitely do appreciate it. May the 4th be with you. It's that special time of the year where Star Wars fans like myself, they rate, the Star Wars shows, the movies and all that stuff. I'm just going to do the movies. I'm just going to do all 12 of the theoretical I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying this word. I'm not going to re-record it. Listen here. All the movies that was in theaters. I'm having a hard time saying it's on the tip of my mind, but I can't say it. All right. That's besides the point. All 12 movies released in theaters. What is my ranking of them? And I'll try to give a little bit of an explanation for each one. And number 12 place. See here. We have the Clone Wars, the movie, which was just, I believe it was just like the first few episodes. Like, it was bad. The Clone Wars movie was straight trash. Like, if you've seen it, if you're around my age, you grew up with the prequels, so you should have seen this, and you already know how bad it is. Let's just go. Number 11, Solo. The Solo movie to me was kind of trash. I did appreciate Donald Glover doing this thing, but that was pretty much about it. How did Han get his last name and stuff like that? It really wasn't, I didn't care. I guess that's the good word for it. I didn't care. So let's just go ahead and scratch that one off. Number 10, The Last Jedi. Ooh, wait, some people are going to be mad at me for having The Last Jedi so low, but I don't know. The Last Jedi to me was straight trash. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people have a problem with Luke. I really didn't have a problem with Luke, because if you go by his personality from, I was going to say the first three, from episodes 4 through 6, it was kind of on par with his personality. It was just, the movie was just really bad and all over the place to me. I believe the whole Snoke being killed and all that stuff, it was just a bad movie to me. I'm not saying Rian Johnson is a bad director, because he directed some good movies, but that one was a fucking shit show. That's just my opinion. I know there's a lot of people that love The Last Jedi. I am not one of them. Number 9, The Phantom Menace. Woo! How many jokes have been made about The Phantom Menace throughout the years? Okay. There were some good parts in it. I like seeing Anakin while he was a kid, because you like, everyone was a kid. Like, if you think about throughout history, like Hitler was once a kid. Mussolini was once a kid. Like, all these, JFK was once a kid. President Obama, President Trump, President Biden. And it's like, you see as a child, and you see the direction their lives can head depending on the choices that other people make. That's why Duel of Fates is one of the best songs throughout the entire Star Wars saga. Like, Duel of Fates was about the fate of Anakin. Of course, you have Qui-Gon Jinn, which is one of the most beloved Jedi Masters out there. It does have a lot going for it. But being a movie aimed towards kids, and you want to talk about all these politics and regulations and all that stuff, man, that was just that was just a no-go. Let's see here. Number 8, The Rise of Skywalker. Woo, man. The Rise of Skywalker, one word can describe The Rise of Skywalker. Clusterfuck. That's like a giant clusterfuck. Well, that's 2 words. Giant clusterfuck. Man, they tried to do everything that they had with The Force Awakens, and then Rian Johnson came and did his little remix with it, and then I forget the director's name, but he came back and tried to redo what he already established. It was just a giant clusterfuck. I enjoy seeing Palpatine, but he had no reason to really be there. Snoke should have still been alive somehow. That whole thing, and then what was Finn going to tell Rey? Hopefully we get that in the new movie. Hopefully, Rey's character is also redeemed in the new movie as well. But Rise of Skywalker was a giant heap of trash. The only good thing was the semi vision she had about her turning to the dark side. Also, the lightsaber duel on the water was pretty cool. Okay. Number 7, Attack of the Clones. Woo-wee, Attack of the Clones. I have a love-hate relationship with Attack of the Clones. Like I said, if you grew up in my generation, this is your Star Wars. Well, this is our Star Wars. I love Attack of the Clones because it shows like Anakin being conflicted. You know, he murdered the Raiders and all that stuff, and he even murdered the kids, the same kids and all that stuff. But then you have like some of the most cringiest dialogue and about the sand. And I don't know, it's just like, you know, you hear the rumors of how there's supposed to be a Darth Jar Jar. I wish they would have went ahead and did that, because a lot of things pointed towards Jar Jar being a Sith, and I think George Lucas ended up getting cold feet because he got a whole lot of backlash about Jar Jar. And I had no problem with Jar Jar, but a lot of people had. George Lucas ended up, getting cold feet, ended up backtracking. But I don't know, like Attack of the Clones, I just have a love-hate relationship with it. And that's why it's in the middle for me. That's all I can say. Let's see here. Number 6, the original Star Wars, aka A New Hope. This is the one that started it all. I enjoy it quite a bit. Like I said, it's not really my Star Wars. My Star Wars is the prequel ones, but I can still most definitely enjoy the original trilogy, and then my prequels, and then the sequels, and then whatever else is going to come next. But nothing much can really said about it. It's like it's what started it all. So I just have it right there in the 6th spot. In the 5th spot, Rogue One. Rogue One was pretty cool. And then I heard Endor was even as amazing as well. I'm going to start watching Endor as well. But Rogue One, just for the Darth Vader scene alone, makes it on this. Well, it's going to be on the list anyway, but makes it high on this list. Like, that was a really great way to end the movie. The movie by itself was pretty good as well. Let's see here. Number 4, The Force Awakens. Now, I was struggling between flip-flopping The Force Awakens and the original Star Wars A New Hope, because technically this is a remake of that, but I don't know. I thought the remake was a whole lot better because, maybe because of the graphics and all that stuff and the things that go with it. But I absolutely love this movie. It was the breath of fresh air we needed after we didn't have Star Wars for what? When did The Force Awakens come out? I want to say, 2015, 2016? It's been way over 10 years. It's been like 10, 12 years since we had another Star Wars. And people were fiending for it. So I most definitely do appreciate The Force Awakens and the retelling of the original Star Wars. My number 3 spot. A lot of people are going to be mad about this one. The Empire Strikes Back. Yes, The Empire Strikes Back is in my number 3 spot. Yes, The Empire Strikes Back is in my number 3 spot. I know that's a whole lot of people's number 1. A lot of people say that's right up there with one of the best sequels of all time, like The Godfather and stuff like that. Well, The Godfather Part 2. Even though I would personally say Godfather Part 1 is better than Part 2. That's just me. Part 2 is good too, but The Empire Strikes Back, man, it's like you have so many quotables for that movie, like "We'll be honored if you were to join us," or "I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further." And then the whole "I love you." I know, there's so many quotables from that movie, like "Luke, I am your father." I suck at the Vader voice, but I like it. It's just like, I don't know, like I have it in my 3rd spot, but it just seems like it's missing something. And then that's where our number 2 comes in. My number 2 is actually Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi was, to me, The Empire Strikes Back, but a whole lot better. It gave everyone the ending that it deserved. The fight, you have to think, you have to put yourself in the time frame of when the movie actually came out. The lightsaber fight was amazing. The Emperor trying to persuade Luke to come into the dark side. You know, his father finally coming back to the light and seeing him. The burning, the Force Ghost. I have no problem with Hayden being in the Force Ghost. Like, some people will still trip about that, about Hayden being the Force Ghost. I absolutely love it. There's nothing wrong with this one. And of course, my number one, if you grew up in my generation, you probably have no other choice. And I can most definitely argue this with any Star Wars fan. Return of the Sith. Return of the Sith is the best fucking Star Wars movie, period. It is way better than A New Hope. It is way better than Empire Strikes Back. It is way better than The Force Awakens. It is way better than Rogue One. We're talking about Revenge of the Sith. Darth Vader is finally materialized. Yes, there are some dialogue problems. Yes, there's some cringiness in the acting, but the whole plot of the reason why pretty much the dark side was able to rise and Palpatine was able to rise is because one man wanted to do anything to save his wife from dying. Woo, man, that's just like, if you think about it, man, women cause wars all the time, but this man let his love for his wife pretty much destroy a whole entire Senate Council galaxy almost. But yes, Return of the Sith, I absolutely love it. It's just like when I think about it, the nostalgia kicks in. Like, I remember when I first went to the movie theaters to go see this, and seeing, like, you know, after Obi-Wan and Anakin had their duel on Mustafar, and then Anakin being on that operating table and seeing the helmet come on, and he's being like lifted up and the music's playing, and then you just hear a and I was like, holy shit, still to this day, one of the greatest things that you've ever seen. Like, a few of the downsides besides like the acting and all that stuff was Palpatine versus Yoda. I felt like that should have been a whole lot better. But I'm also thinking for the time frame that when it came out, yeah, I guess it did okay. This is still the best lightsaber fight that has ever been. Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Second place now has to go to Kenobi in the movie. Not the movie, in the TV series Kenobi, with Kenobi versus Darth Vader. But this is literally the best lightsaber fight that has ever happened. So that's my list. Let me know what you think. Other Star Wars fans are probably going to kill me about where I got Empire Strikes Back, but it's good. Just not as good as Revenge of the Sith. Take care. I love you. Peace.